This one's a lot more boo than peak, published by Fun with SK in May of 2022, and originally published by YouTuber Simply Sareth. This scary video captured something creepy playing peekaboo around a corner. Sareth is outside this haunted home, his camera facing the front door, when his night vision footage captures this creepy creature peering around the doorway. What is this figure? It certainly looks human in size, but is it a ghost? Or is it just a living human being so super creepy? I think these are questions we'll never get the answers to. This creepy selfie photobomb is making my skin crawl. Posted on TikTok by WINIRGTA, this woman is taking a selfie in the mirror when something freaky enters the picture. A small toddler-sized figure toddles past behind the woman, but does not reappear on the other side of her. The figure moves fast and looks to be a slightly grayish tinge. Is this just the woman's younger sibling making an unexpected cameo? Or does she have a supernatural elf on her hands? A creepy goat stands on two legs and stares ahead with beady black eyes. Reddit is trying to figure out if this is a statue, or is this a live animal trained to be as scary as possible. Its eyes kind of look expressive here at 9 seconds, and its ears somewhat move here, although that could just as easily be camera movement. Ever felt like you were being watched? These three boys definitely had reason to. Posted by the Comics Man to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the uploader writes, "Some dudes go to the Danakil Desert or a park. What is in the first frame? The video shows 3 kids getting ready to do some parkour, everyday kid stuff, but not far beyond in the background. Look at what is watching them from a nearby tree. The figure appears like a silhouette and gives off serious Slenderman vibes. The ominous way it's lurking there makes the otherwise innocent parkour video intensely creepy. You can vaguely see the figure again at a distance. At 1 minute and 43 seconds, it continues to stand there in the clump of trees, and again around 3 minutes in. What is this thing? Do these boys have a lurker? Nowhere is safe." This 4-part TikTok series is a journey. Posted by Breadcrumb and Beaver's Pit, the TikToker was working her shift when she spotted something creepy between a crack in the ceiling tiles. It looks like an old man's face or a shrunken head.
I was staring at my ceiling right at work, and then I see this light right, and I go over here.
In the second video, the TikToker reveals the outside of this building. She says part of the building was a school from the 1920s. She enters the kitchen. The face thing is still exactly where it was last time, seemingly peering through the cracks. She tries to lift the ceiling tile using a broom. At this point, she thinks it's either insulation or a rope.
Here's the legendary area. It's still there. It's chilling. The villain. Lurking.
Next video sees her climbing up a stepladder to investigate. After lifting the tile, you don't really see the face thing, but you do see that there's a whole other room up there. In the last video, the mystery is solved. Lifting the ceiling tile, you can see what the object is. As the OP suggested earlier, a rope. What was it used for? The OP's theory is an old school bell, although you may think the saga is over. Some in the comments are seeing and hearing new mysteries. One hears something crying in this last clip, and some even claim to see a new person peering down at her. I am not personally seeing or hearing any of that, so we'll just stick with the rope. Mystery solved. Turn the volume up on this one. Posted to the Haunted subreddit, Work at Home Freak 99 writes, "I live alone and this is a motion or light activated camera. That's me just turning off the light and heading off to bed. Now listen." A loud gravelly voice says either help, go, or come.
Go. Go.
Depending on which Redditor you ask. Personally, I hear the word help in a sort of Yelp fashion. The OP writes, "If I had heard that voice, I would have flipped out. They also say the sound came from the kitchen where the camera is set up, because creepy stuff happens there sometimes. Many are saying the voice is creepy AF and sounds like the Cookie Monster. Regardless, this Redditor should probably try their luck with one of the options currently on the board before this monster takes matters into its own hands.
Go.
After a series of unexpected passings in his family, YouTuber Slightly Scared 2012 experienced this. Do you see a face in the fabric? The YouTuber believes it's his departed cousin's face. The cousin in question passed away, falling from a highway overpass, and within hours, this face appeared on the seat of the chair while the YouTuber was sitting in it. I wish we had a picture of his cousin to compare, but nevertheless, I definitely see a face here, but whether it's pareidolia or not is the big question. Ever felt like you were being watched? These three boys definitely had reason to. Posted by the Comics Man to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the uploader writes, "Some dudes go to the Danakil Desert or a park. What is in the first frame? The video shows three kids getting ready to do some parkour, everyday kid stuff, but not far beyond in the background. Look at what is watching them from a nearby tree. The figure appears like a silhouette and gives off serious Slenderman vibes. The ominous way it's lurking there makes the otherwise innocent parkour video intensely creepy. You can vaguely see the figure again at a distance. At 1 minute and 43 seconds, it continues to stand there in the clump of trees, and again around 3 minutes in. What is this thing? Do these boys have a lurker? Nowhere is safe." A group of British friends are playing catch in a courtyard when one of them sees something strange and points it out to the others. The camera follows his gaze and stops on a pale face looking at them from high above. The sickly person looks at them for a second longer before silently slipping out of view. The group is now creeped out and wants to know who has been spying on them this whole time. They tell the property manager about the face they saw in the window, but she says that it's impossible. The room they are talking about has been locked and unoccupied for quite some time. The manager goes up with them to unlock the door and show them around. They try and find the person, but the place is completely empty. There's no way anyone could have been up there, yet the camera obviously says differently. The mysterious peeper has never been identified. There's a face in the wall. Can you see it?
Vad fan syns det?
The eyes are wide and black, and the face is a little more than a tiny frown. Then, after 1 minute and 5 seconds, I think I see a hand appear. They say it looks like the face of a girl, but the youngest daughter swears up and down that she had nothing to do with it.
She wasn't there last
She never went. She never went, no.
And when, just for fun, they ask the face on the wall if it is the spirit of someone young or old, they get a weird response.
Put a light if you're a young girl.
So is this really a spirit, or just an imprint left behind of a child who stuck their face against a dirty wall? This creepy customer is dressed as the Joker in the middle of May. It looks like he is asking for directions or something, maybe for a bathroom, because the lady keeps pointing to somewhere else in the store. The fictional Joker would never waste his time on such a small score, but this one waits until her back is turned and makes a grab for the tip jar on the counter, which looks full. She comes back at the last second, and he just politely smiles to throw off any suspicions. When she leaves again, he looks around nervously at everywhere but the camera as he shoves the tip jar in his pocket and quickly ducks out. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Buddy and Rascal. This two-part submission starts with a photo. The Redditor wrote, "Caught this face while me and my mom were putting the boards on our basement windows. Our house was built in 1901. This image got a ton of upvotes with commenters praising its realness and asking for more evidence. The Redditor then posted a video writing, "Here is a video of our basement. I personally don't see anything, but if you guys do, please let me know." In the comments, Wrangler Greedy 2976 thought they saw movement in the crawl space at the 16-second mark.
So you walk down here, and the first thing you're greeted by is our crawl space. I don't know what light to turn on so you can see it better, but that's our crawl space. And then this is the window that the face was in. Don't like this window, but the crawl space isn't much better. There isn't very good vibes back here.
Do you see what this commenter is talking about? Nevertheless, let's hope Buddy and Rascal are able to capture more paranormal evidence in this home. A YouTuber named C. Codane is with a group of friends who are ready to explore an old creepy tunnel. They keep running out because they think they see something inside, but nothing shows up on camera until their fourth and final attempt. First, they hear it before they see it. It sounds a lot like the other rake videos in my opinion, but let me know what you hear. They remain at the mouth of the tunnel while the creature slowly walks towards them, making those sounds all the while. They clearly get the creature on video once and for all, but not without risking their lives first. The shrieking monster is all gray and stands upright like a human. It's hard to say whether this was their friend or an actual sewer mutant. Their reactions of excitement and disbelief sound real, at least compared to most other videos, so I'm inclined to believe this was an actual creature they spotted at random. In wandering around this abandoned building, strange apparitions appear everywhere. Published by Clip Hantu, this scary video is like the Where's Waldo of creepy figures. See if you can spot them all. Notice this thing on the ledge wasn't there a moment before. It looks like a head of hair or a wig. In the next room, you see a dark figure in the corner. As the camera swings back, it's disappeared. And with the flashlight turned on, you can see the room is completely empty. In a kitchen area, there's a pot on the counter at first. Now there seems to be a split in the clip, but the next time we see the same counter, the creepy object has replaced it. That thing looks like a shrunken head. Have these items been placed? Or is this the world's worst treasure hunt? The first and third items do look to me like they were placed. There is a cut in the video in each of these instances, but that shadow figure, that's harder to explain. Makes me think this place is truly haunted after all. This is said to be a real ghost video from Singapore. A woman jogs down the road when she has a creepy encounter with a stranger who may or may not be paranormal. She doesn't hear any footsteps until he is running away. It's like he was never behind, and when she looks to where he just was, he's gone. Then he passes again and things get even scarier. You could pass somebody twice like this if you ran a wide loop around them, but why he would do this and scare her is something I doubt we could ever explain. I don't think this is paranormal, but I do think acting this way is not normal. I think it's most likely a short film, but there are no credits, and it presents itself as a real ghost video caught on camera in the description. Two friends use face swap for a laugh, but it turns into a scare instead that leaves one of them speechless. This video is really creepy because there's absolutely nothing but total darkness behind him. Certainly nothing for the app to have mistaken for a face. The face behind him doesn't look anything like his own. It's a pale apparition with no eyes and no smile. Freaky, right? A YouTuber named Mark Grillo catches a complete and total stranger poking around his front porch for no apparent reason. She doesn't even try to knock or anything. Take a look at what she's carrying here and tell me what you think is inside. It almost looks like it could be a cardboard container from a restaurant or something, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, you can't stand. Yeah, I can't stand.
You can't see in, the woman says twice while trying to peer through a window. Two other people stand at the bottom of the steps waiting for her, and they all walk off together. Exactly what this woman is trying to see is unknown, but it's definitely creepy how she struts around like she owns the place. The group seems to be wearing nice clothes, and I doubt she is trying to break in, especially since her hands are full, which only makes this video all the more bizarre. Overall, I have no idea what these strangers could possibly want, or why they thought this was a socially acceptable thing to do. Most bad guys see a security camera and think twice, but Jason Chekhov thinks that this one was attracted to his house specifically because of it, which he can get some money for if he can manage to get away. There's no doubt that he stops and looks directly at the camera at 9 seconds into the video. It's such an abrupt and dramatic turn that some people think the whole thing is fake, and that this person whose face is fully covered is none other than Jason Chekhov himself trying to get some views. I would agree that this could be a possibility, if not for the lengths of which the person is willing to go through to get inside. First they put one arm under the other and try to wedge it open with force. Then they just try to open it the good old-fashioned way and give the glass 3 solid elbows. Finally, they try to simply pinch and lift, painfully snapping back their fingernail from the sound of it. The point is, I really doubt Jason Chekhov would have risked messing up his windows or his fingers trying to break his way in, though I could be wrong. Wanda Chance is riding down the road when she sees a stranger who looks out of place. He is wearing a floor-length black cloak and holds his hands in front of him, possibly making a symbol. Wanda is suspicious of him and they drive by again. I think he looks like he might just be a regular teenager, sporting a gothic clothing style and look, but Wanda notices a long and pointy ear at 1 minute and 14 seconds and questions if he is really a person at all. What do you think about this sighting? Sure, it's strange, but is this just a person with an uncommon fashion style for the area, or a visitor from somewhere far off trying their best to fit in? A YouTuber named Dark Corners is exploring the deep web when he comes across a video that he instantly regrets watching due to a possible curse. A nauseating noise forces him to take off his headphones, and even though it's in a different language, he still knows that he has witnessed something he was never meant to see. If you are able to read Japanese, please translate the text into English so we can all better understand. I just wanted to add that this long beep is exactly the same noise that hospital equipment makes when you flatline, which leads me to think that this text could be talking about ending your very life. Let me know if you think my suspicions are correct, or if I was way off with this assumption. Home alone at night? This creeper might just be peering in the window at you. Originally posted to YouTube by group member Ariane Childress of VBEINC's channel. This image is sure to haunt you. A woman in her home films her dark window pane as it looks like a man is staring at her. Although the features are vague, the image reflected definitely looks like a face. The woman takes a few pics as well. The lurker disappears for a moment when her camera moves, but then he's back again leering. Reddit is mixed about this image, with some saying it's seriously creepy and others theorizing it can easily be explained. Redditor Crystal Siren wonders how the woman remains so calm, writing, "If I saw that, I'd have to close the curtains immediately and been unable to sleep for days." However, New Vin suggests it's pareidolia. Pareidolia is when someone incorrectly sees objects they recognize in random shapes or patterns. For instance, seeing a face in the clouds. As many note, this looks like it's probably a reflection, being that whenever she moves, the face gets distorted or disappears. Whether it's pareidolia, a reflection, or something more nefarious, we'll never know. Real life lurker or not, you can't really blame this woman for looking over her shoulder. Remember when you were younger and you heard the twinkling song of the ice cream truck calling all the neighborhood out for a sweet treat? Well, would you have come running if it had sounded like this? YouTuber Sean Bob Guy published this clip in June of 2008, writing that this demonic ice cream van shows up every single day at his apartment complex. The thing always scares his cat. The cat is probably not the only one with hair on end. Usually parents tell their kids if strangers offer candy to run like heck, particularly strangers in white creepy vans. Well, this scenario isn't too far off. The ice cream truck's tune sounds nothing short of creepy, giving it a distinct horror movie vibe. You know, the warbling song right before Chucky pops out and takes a life. You can almost expect the clown from It to be serving up soft serves from this truck. Probably not the most inviting image. To add to the creepiness, the vehicle isn't even a truck but is literally a white van driving very slowly through a neighborhood to lure passers-by. And at the end of the video, it seems one is lured as a person comes running over to order from the creepiest ice cream van ever. YouTuber Lynn writes in the comments, "If animals act weird around this sort of thing, it's definitely haunted." The rat nest adds, "And the people who posted this were never seen again." One thing's for sure, this evil tune should never exist. A YouTube channel called DIY.com decides to do some paranormal investigating at a haunted place in San Francisco called Stow Lake. They're exploring for a while when this creepy statue comes at them from the darkness. Soon they notice that his camera seems to skip frames, or twitch as he calls it. Watch the frames skip whenever he passes over their faces.
Faster! Well, you see how it twitches?
Yeah.
The camera? Did you see that?
Uh-huh.
Can you guys do that again? See? It twitches.
Twitches, yeah.
I couldn't really see what they were talking about until they address one of the children directly. That's when you can see a major frame loss that's scary enough to make one of them run away screaming.
Little girl. Ooh, you see that?
You can see it again in slow motion. Freaky, right? This security footage will make you forego your chores. TikToker Little and Large 13 was retrieving her laundry from the line when this happened. Watch the crack in the fence. A skull-white face peers into her backyard. Although that's some creepy CGI in my opinion, it does kind of look like a harmless panda to me. Nevertheless, if I saw this in my backyard, I'd be nothing short of terrified. What's this strange light doing here? That's what Michael Oishi wants to know, and so far no one has been able to help him. I personally think this looks like a high-powered spotlight, because I see a smaller light artifact that seems to generally correspond with its movements, indicating that this is actually part of a beam coming from the bottom of the screen. With that said, I wonder what's off-camera casting this long, creepy shadow. This creepy and unexplained video has been unsettling people since 2016. It starts with a man who looks like he is just goofing around at first by making a weird voice and singing loudly.
힘이 없다는 걸.
His mannerisms become more bizarre and aggressive, until finally he is shrieking like a wild animal and destroying the whole room. When he regains his composure and lowers the blinds, you can see that he is standing in the middle of a children's room. There's no sounds of a child though, which makes you wonder if there ever was one to begin with, or if it's been somehow silenced. Lethal Gamers is a YouTube channel full of cool gaming videos, but one in particular is unlike all of the others, and not in a good way.
Look at this. There's a baby face clear as day in the window.
I don't know if it's the face of a baby or not, but I can see the eyes, nose, mouth, chin, neck, hair, and ear. It looks to be wailing in anguish. Lethal Gamers says that his floor is up way too high for someone to press their face against the glass. Beyond the reflection of his room is nothing but night sky.
Look, this is my kitchen window. Well, the crazy part is when I first looked at this, when I first saw the face, it looked like it was looking straight out. And now it looks like it's turned.
And get this, he also says that this face was looking the other way minutes ago, and 20 minutes after this video was taken, it was supposedly gone. But without the video proof, we'll never be able to explain if this was real or fake. This entry involves a series of videos revealing a web of industrial-looking tunnels that weave beneath the campus of Northern Arizona University. The uploader states that in October of 2018, he only reached the bottom of the stairs but recently decided to venture further. Enclosed Granddad writes, NAU was almost established as an insane asylum back in the mid-1890s, and rumor has it that these tunnels would have been part of that. He shares a link, which notes that the building was first built as a reform school for Arizona's so-called vicious youth. It's unclear why it remained empty for years upon completion. That's when, as Granddad mentioned, an insane asylum was proposed by the territorial legislature. For some reason, that wasn't followed through either. What isn't made clear is this short historical literature is when the tunnels were built and for what purpose. The recorder guides us through the dark tunnels, writing, I came across pathways that I could have potentially crawled, shimmied through, but chose not to because, 1, they seemed a bit dangerously cramped at points, and 2, I didn't want to spend too much time down there. I don't know how much farther these tunnels go until we find out what those tunnels were used for. The mystery may just be enough to haunt you. For years, I've been seeing scary video after scary video of the same looking person peeping into the window with their hands blocking out the light, and I think I've finally found the source. This Oh My Gosh TV video dates back to 2016, and in it, you can see a close-up of this creepy rubber head that you put up to the window to make it look like a stalker is peeking. It's supposed to be a practical joke that definitely freaks people out and gets the job done, as Omar's own wife couldn't tell it was fake. So I did some research and found out this is actually a prop called Scary Peeper that you can find at many stores online. It's years later and people still continue to copy the style of this video, so I just wanted to debunk the rumors. If you've ever seen a video on YouTube of a person looking into the window with their hands clumped to the glass in a very specific way, like this, you can rest assured knowing that the video is almost definitely a prank. On occasion, don't believe what you see. Sometimes your eyes really can deceive you. TikToker Rebecca explains that a previous video that appeared to show a child at the window in this haunted mansion was actually just a prop. TikTokers urged Rebecca to call the authorities, saying it looked like this individual was being held captive, but when Rebecca zooms in on the window in question, the head is clearly that of a mannequin. Some still find the catch extremely jarring. Kat writes, "You zoomed in and my heart just stopped." Some thank Rebecca for giving viewers closure, while others say it's even scarier knowing it's a mannequin. Real or not, whoever placed this thing here has a dark sense of humor. This door sounds like a witch, and I'm not even exaggerating. Would you be able to live in a house that made this noise? People in the comments are saying it's possessed or cursed. I'm not going that far, but I'm just saying that if any part of my house even sounds remotely like this, I'm moving far away. What you are hearing is the heavy breathing of a man who took the lives of 14 people. This message was left on the answering machine of one of his targets during the 70s. It's clear that he's trying to instill as much fear as possible before his next strike. He wants the person and the community at large to know what's going to happen to all of them, and he savors their fear.
That's all I'm saying.
The message is so over the top that I think most people would have had a hard time believing it was real. But if you ever receive a message like this one, remember that there are people out there who are not fooling around and will hold themselves to their word. When you enter a graveyard, you may not leave alone. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, Scream Gaming writes, "This was caught in a cemetery when we were leaving. All 4 of us got chills at the time, and it felt like something left with us. In the short clip, the group is heading out of the driveway of the cemetery when you see a figure on the side of the road. According to the Redditor, they caught this creepy thing on video where in reality there was nothing, just grass and a telephone pole. Do you see it?" Redditor Treadway0311 does, writing, "There definitely was something there and then gone. But what was it, and where did it go?" A doorbell camera captured an interesting visitor one night at around 10 p.m. TikToker LENTHIN shares this video. It appears that the woman just stands there for a moment, breathing loudly, and then leaves, carrying her bag of mysteries. It doesn't even seem like she rings the doorbell.
Help.
Would this terrify you? It does certainly terrify me. I wouldn't open the door ever again. A Redditor named SteezySteve7 posted this work camera video of the creepy basement at his coffee store job. It's 1:45 in the morning when his boss receives a phone notification of movement down there. This is what tripped the motion detection equipment. That looks like it could be a ghost to me, but maybe it's also a piece of a spider web? This basement looks like it has plenty of them. Can someone let me know if spider webs can set off motion detection equipment? I think they probably could, in which case mystery solved. A man in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania encounters what he calls a zombie sighting when he sees a stationary figure stare at him without moving. Not even loud music or oncoming headlights are enough to make him step aside or respond. I'm pretty sure that this person has a major problem that they need to get help for, but this would still be beyond creepy to see late at night, especially considering the next driver might not be paying enough attention to swerve out of the way. A very sad situation indeed. A YouTuber named The Modern Mombi is sipping her coffee while pumping gas while she notices someone watching her get into her car. She lets it slide until she sees him looking at her again.
But yeah, he keeps peeping us.
She is making a video probably in the hopes that it will make him too ashamed to continue, but he looks straight at her and seems to smirk. It's a weird and creepy expression that he has no excuse to keep making if they are strangers. Maybe he thinks he recognizes her, but if that were the case, staring at her instead of saying hello is rude and suspicious to say the least. Then again, maybe the camera is the only thing keeping him from being more intrusive. He eventually gets in the car and drives away. That's when she realizes she's in her work uniform and hopes he won't be staring at her sometime soon at her job. What do you make of the creature in this creepy video? Published in June of 2017, a car is driving through a desert when it slows to a stop. Some animals appear in the area near a fence. From far off, they look like they could be anything. cows, dogs. The video is unclear, but as the camera zooms in and the car backs up and then turns around to get an unobstructed view, we see that at least one of the creatures looks like something from a horror movie. It almost looks like a humanoid doing a bear crawl, but I can't imagine a human being able to pull that off for as long as this creature does. The way it moves is not characteristic of any animal. It's unnatural. The creature continues on, trotting alongside the other animals. Is this human, humanoid, animal, or some other unknown? It definitely is something I've never seen before. Most of the time, security cameras capture hours and hours of useless footage. Sometimes, however, they capture something like this. Published in September of 2013, YouTuber Rainy Schooler writes, "A woman walks out of the darkness on a cold and wet night in the mountains far from a busy road and no immediate neighbors. The security camera is aimed into the wilderness and you can see a tree to the right side of the screen but nothing else. That is until, right in the middle of the shot, the figure appears, walks and stops and turns awkwardly. Not turning with her feet, but just twisting with her upper body. Then she walks forward again before taking a sharp right turn and veering out of sight. The video moves forward about 45 seconds until the woman is seen winding around the tree and then is spotted back in the middle again, looking off into the wilderness, moving in the same strange start-stop fashion that she was doing before. A different security camera captures the woman walking up towards the house. Out of sight, it's not clear what she did alongside of the home, but she is soon seen again walking haphazardly away and around the same area near the tree in the back. She did this for 10 minutes, the video notes. Many in the comments think this woman must have been on something, but in the middle of nowhere. What do you think? I'm just glad they had security cameras so the homeowners were aware of her activities." Real Victoria is woken up by her cat hissing at something it sees in the bedroom window. The cat goes quiet when she starts recording, but it's definitely focused on some activity outside. She says this creepy looking character was looking in through her window, and he very well may have been, but at 4 seconds he also seems to be looking up and trying to get the attention of someone in the room above him. In fact, I think I hear him shout something and whistle loudly at the beginning of this video. What is he saying here? Eventually, he steps away and out of sight. I guess he either saw the camera, or he finally got the attention of someone in the unit above. Whatever he was up to, having a complete stranger anywhere near where you live at 5 in the morning is oddly terrifying. With that said, I do believe her, and I hope Real Victoria stays safe until her lease is up and she can get out of there. Have you ever seen videos on social media that were so concerning that you considered calling the cops? A Redditor explains that this days-old TikTok account is posting disturbing videos. He writes that the video's creator keeps posting 15-second clips over several days, and that neither viewers nor the platform appear to have alerted authorities. The clip, posted by Mandy, shows a woman on a baby cam crying while having her hair brushed by a man. When her head droops, he lifts her chin back up to face the camera. Some in the comments say that it's so creepy they can't even watch. Excited Koalas 29 mentions, if y'all look at the people they're following, this starts to look like a new horror account. They're following a lot of verified users, as well as celebrities. That's always a good sign that it's fake. Although Koalas says he isn't trying to discredit the clip, which could potentially be real, we hope that he is right, that it's some sort of horrible horror fiction. Other clips posted by Mandy shows the girl as well. In one of them, the girl is wringing her hands before being fed something from a man off screen, who then pets her hair. Another clip shows her rocking back and forth, and in yet another, she seems to be eating something off the ground. Redditor Jula Mad weighs in. The content is gross one way or another and needs to be reported to the authorities. If this is real, then I definitely agree. But as the other Redditor pointed out, there's a good chance it isn't. A YouTuber named Leo Tran is challenged to throw a plastic bottle cap into a trash bag from across the room. At 1 minute into the video, you can see something is out of the ordinary, but at 1 minute and 23 seconds, you can see a small face pop up in the window. The small face stays in the window for approximately 33 seconds and ducks out of the way when Leo goes to collect the trash bag. Does this look real or edited to you? This unsolved CCTV video shows a man struggling to drag something heavy down the steps late at night. As he makes a turn, you can see he's pulling a black bag that's quite large out of view. While this is happening, somebody who is staying late at the office happens to see him, which is how I guess this videotape was reported and later archived for further investigation. Nothing else happens until 42 minutes later when the incident repeats itself. The creepy man drags another mysterious black bag down the steps and out the door. At 10 seconds, you get a better look and it definitely looks like a garbage bag to me. I really hope that this person wasn't dragging two people out, but that's exactly what it looks like happens. Maybe there's a good alternate explanation, but I have no idea why this guest would wait until the middle of the night to remove these objects from his room and never return. Have you ever heard your loved one's voice coming from another world? Posted to TikTok by Gio Van Lima, this creepy video will catch you off guard.
Por eso, man.
Lurker.
Por eso.
Oh my god.
The man recording hears a woman's voice which he identifies as his girlfriend's coming from around the corner, but he turns to find her asleep next to him. He writes that they were alone at the time, so who or what is trying to lure him into another room?
¿Qué por eso, man?
Grandpa.
Por eso.
Oh my god.
Is this one of those demon spirits? I think that's a strong possibility. A YouTuber named Chris Javier is making a random vlog around his neighborhood late at night when he gets the weird feeling that he's not alone. Moments later, the streetlight he's standing by goes off and on by itself, which he says it has never done before. He thinks it might just be his imagination, so he decides to further test the situation by directly communicating with whatever is controlling the light, which seems to respond more than once. Here's the first time.
What the heck is going on?
And then the streetlight seems to taunt him even as he walks away. Was this a coincidence? Or is there no possible way?
Now it's not even turning off. As soon as I just said something about it, it turns off.
A short while later, Chris sees a disheveled figure walk out from the back alley where he was just standing. They seem totally out of it and speak aggressively to an imaginary person in front of them. At this point, Chris decides to get out of there because it's early in the morning and no one else is around. But to his surprise, the stranger soon follows. The person then abruptly returns to the back alley from where they came and begins to shudder under the same streetlight that was acting weird earlier. They seem drawn to this area and they start swinging their arms wildly in a circle, totally forgetting about Chris, as he films the scene for a while longer and then gets away, between the lights seemingly responding to Chris's voice, and a man randomly appearing from an empty back alley moments later. There just seems to be too many coincidences in this video to deny the paranormal could have been at work that night. A paranormal team led by Derek Reese sits around the old family room of a haunted house in an undisclosed location. One of them must be sensitive to spirits because he asks them if they feel anything, and maybe he accidentally channels something into the room.
Oh my god, doesn't have something like no, I'm not.
You can see everyone except for one person when the knock happens, but her hands are in her lap under a pillow, so no, it's not her. Later on, they are looking at old videos when two visual artifacts appear. One is pink and one is green, and neither of them will go away no matter what they try. And that's when they hear creepy singing and a deep voice say something like, "Get away from the door." The audio is pretty low quality, but what do you hear?
What about
This stranger in a hockey jersey demands entry. Would you let him in?
Let me in.
Published by Sam Maloney in May of 2022, this Ring doorbell camera captured this man's attempted entry on video. After being dropped off by a white car that drives away, the man walks up the stairs and rings the doorbell a couple of times. He speaks in a strange, froggy voice. He continues to growl at the door.
Let me in. Let me in.
Alexa then asks him what his intentions are, and he responds,
Let me in.
This is Alexa. What is the purpose of the visit?
I require entry.
After demanding entry, the man disappears from the camera's sight, but it's not clear where he went. He didn't retreat down the front stairs. Did he find a way in through the door or a window? You and me are left with more questions than answers. Sometimes you come across video footage on YouTube that just gives you a strange, unsettling feeling in the pit of your stomach, despite appearing relatively harmless. This clip is one of those types. Abner H7 posted the video titled Movo10 to Reddit. The clip begins with an emergency warning sound and reads, "Please hold, playback will begin." A dark screen appears to show the woods at night. The phrase "Hollow was alive" flashes scratchily on the screen for a moment, leaving viewers to wonder what that hollow lie is. The walk through the dark forest starts to morph into an unsettling funhouse mirror. The leaves on the ground sway and distort. Another phrase flashes across the screen reading, "They are making it real. Who are they? What is being made real? We are left to guess." Continued shots of the leaves, branches, and grass in the darkness are replaced, suddenly, by a shot of the moon. Then one more message appears, "Help us." The clip then ends with another high-pitched sound, an official message indicating the playback is complete. What does this creepy clip mean? And why is this YouTube channel full of them? After a mission to an old haunted railway tunnel, Crypto Girl 13 spied something mysterious in her footage while editing. Published in August of 2013, the Crypto Girl and her friend are navigating through the forest and mud to the mouth of the tunnel. After wading through obstacles of sludge and climbing over large branches, they arrive at the entrance. Zooming into the deep darkness, the video starts glitching out as she talks about the story of a monster living in the tunnel.
Old story that some kind of creature, there's some kind of creature that...
Getting closer to the entrance, they hear some creepy noises inside.
What the that?
But it was upon editing the footage that they spotted these two glowing red orbs, which they believe to be eyes of the legendary monster. Were they closer to the cryptid than they ever imagined? Or is there something else inhabiting this old railway tunnel? Since it's been almost 10 years, I don't know if this mystery will ever be solved. In 2004, a student at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst named Mara Murray went missing. She had been acting very strangely, like crying at work and taking someone's credit card before she disappeared. She was eventually seen in New Hampshire, stranded at the side of the road. Someone called the police, but when they arrived, she was gone. This video, called Happy Anniversary, was originally uploaded by a YouTuber named 112 Dirtbag. It was put up shortly before the 8th anniversary of her disappearance. This is haunting enough, but it gets worse. The YouTuber's name, 112 Dirtbag, is believed to be a reference to something Mara's father once said. He said that she was probably picked up by some dirtbag on Route 112. This video was quickly taken down and the original uploader was never found. If there was a soundtrack to your nightmares, it would probably sound like this. Posted to TikTok by Hannah Hallett. She writes simply, help? You'd be seeking help too if this Yankee Doodle was blaring outside your window in the darkness of night. Hannah captures what looks like an ice cream truck making a U-turn on her road in the darkness. Well, that's a little odd considering the time of day, but not overly scary. The fact that the truck's haunting children's music is blaring from its speakers, even as darkness envelopes the night, is absolutely terrifying. Who is this ice cream man trying to attract? Imagine this nightmare fuel filtering into your subconscious as you fall off to sleep. Pretty sure nightmares would be a guarantee. A Ring doorbell camera caught this video of a scary clown lurking around the neighborhood, and it has everyone freaking out. A total stranger stands with their head bent at an extreme angle, examining the doorbell camera before a noise startles them, and they slowly back away like they were about to do something wrong. This was taken 4 days before Halloween, so it's probably somebody who is super excited and just wanted to creep people out early this year. Still, no friends are with them as they lurk around people's property uninvited, and no one in the neighborhood recognizes them, so who knows what they're up to. Also, notice how they didn't go back to the sidewalk. They go through the yard like they're either about to look in the next house or try a window. It might be 4 days before Halloween, but maybe they're using this as cover to case houses in the near future. Here's a freaky sighting. Imagine you're playing guitar with your friends when something decides to pay a visit. Published by Navigon in November of 2007, this creepy video shows some dudes practicing in a bedroom. One is playing the guitar, the other is singing, and the third is recording the session. But as it turns out, there's a fourth uninvited guest nearby. As they continue to play, the friend filming the session takes a broader shot of the singer, and towering in the doorway behind him is a seemingly tall man, standing sentry and staring into the room. In the comments of this video, David F.E. writes, "It's a humanoid being about 7 feet tall, not a ghost. Many people have reported them before." Whatever the case, in the moment, the friend filming doesn't spot the humanoid. The three continue their session without any reaction, and the next time the cameraman pans over, the figure is gone. They must have spotted the humanoid later in the playback, a humanoid that was so close he could have touched them. What would you do if you saw this over your friend's shoulder? Remember that guy who was caught on a Ring doorbell video licking someone's doorbell? Well, we've just found his soulmate. Posted in December of 2017, the footage shows a young blonde woman approach the doorbell. At first, it appears as if it was provoked by a dare. The woman walks up to the doorbell, holds up her hands strangely, as though she knows she's on candid camera, and then looks over to her right, as if looking at someone out of frame. But then she walks back, just standing awkwardly, looking around at random, before approaching the door again. Is she waiting for someone to answer? Maybe, but what she does while waiting is not normal. The woman opens her mouth wide, moving closer to the camera, and you can actually hear her bite. She then backs away again, as though nothing happened, appears to be waiting for a moment, then starts to do this. Well, it's all well and good to get your daily exercise in. Doing that on someone's doorstep late at night after biting their security camera seems a little out of it. Don't you agree? Well, this man was checking his home CCTV at night. He captured something he didn't expect. Published by Scary Dusk in November of 2021, the scary video shows the man setting up his camera and checking that it's angled well in his yard. But as he's doing so, look behind him. A creepy face peeks out from behind a bush in the background. It remains in view even as a car passes by behind it. The face then slowly disappears back behind the bush. A closer look shows the creature's bizarre features. While it looked human from far away, it doesn't exactly look that way close up. Is this being wearing a mask? And why is it hiding? Whatever is going on here, it seems this man set up his security cameras just in time. Something is with exploring with Tom as he checks out an abandoned mansion that isn't so empty after all. Noises make him want to run away screaming for help, but he also wants to make longer YouTube videos than he normally does, so he pushes onwards.
I'm hoping no one's in here. No one's definitely going to be in here, so I guess I'll be fine. Wait, what the?
Tom doesn't know what to think when a clown walks out and casually turns down the hall without a single glance his way. The clown begins to rock in place, and exploring with Tom actually starts to feel bad for him, which makes no sense in my opinion, because almost no one would approach a stranger dressed as a clown in a busted mansion. Instead of running away to get help, he decides to offer the clown help himself. He never does actually dial a number, another reason this could be fake.
If I call the police for you, you're gonna get some help, okay? You're gonna get some help. I'm gonna call the police for you right now, okay?
Suddenly, the clown snaps back to reality and rejects Tom's help with a look that makes him take off.
Yo, I'm gonna help you.
In my opinion, this final response is what he should have done all along. According to Marisol Cole, this house was built in 1890 and abandoned for decades. She and her friend get a bad feeling as they head up the steps and feel an immense energy weighing them down. As they cross into the kitchen, they find this cold, unsmiling photograph that makes them gasp out loud.
Wow.
The woman's expression looks pained and worried, as this man is across from her with a slight look of concern as well. Maybe it was just the style at the time to look serious during a photograph, or maybe something unspeakable happened here to make them look that way. When Marisol leaves, they are surprised to find the door instantly locked behind them, when there should have been no possible way. And when Marisol glances across the street for one last look, she captures this small, sullen face staring back at her in the window. A face which, even from a distance, passingly resembles the photograph of the man they found earlier. So did they move his picture to the window to fake this part? Or do you think it's possible they really saw him? I'm going with the latter. The Driskill Hotel is one of the most legendarily haunted hotels in all of Texas. This is where you'll find a painting of a senator's 4-year-old daughter named Samantha, who supposedly fell down a flight of steps at the hotel and met her end. Her soul is said to reside in the painting now, and she will change facial expressions if you look at her for long enough. Just look at what happens when this YouTuber, named Emily, takes a glance at the painting.
Oh, her face does change.
Has it changed?
Yes, it just changed when I started looking at it.
Jacob, did it change?
After freaking out for a bit, Emily bravely walks back up to the picture and takes another look. Try to examine the picture when the camera zooms in on it, and tell me if you see Samantha's eyes move. I personally do not see it, but maybe I'm missing something.
Her eyes are moving. Oh my god. Her eye just moved up. I'm not lying.
If you want to find out what else this painting can supposedly do, then be sure to check out my other video called 7 Haunted Paintings. A YouTube channel called Finsk Dashcam is simply a collection of videos from a person's drive to and from work. One upload has thousands more views than any other because of how creepy it is, and also because it's difficult to come up with a satisfying way to explain it. So Finsk is driving to work when someone forces him to the other lane. As he's getting closer, he discovers it's an older woman standing in his lane. She remains suspended in this position and does not so much as turn her head to acknowledge him. In fact, we never see her face at all. Does she even have one? Light snow covers the cars, but does not cover her, so she could have not been standing here for long. Still, it is very cold out, and yet not once do I see any indication of her breath. Is she alive? A ghost? Finsk slows down, and I want to say he helps her, but the video ends before we get a chance to really see. This was made in 2017, and no update has been provided, so I guess what happened next will have to stay a mystery. In a frightening Twitter thread, Gregory88 shares a frankly freaky series of posts about an experience in the woods, including a video that has Twitter more than a bit concerned. Greg's thread begins on November 30th, 2018, where he claims to have seen something in the woods. He tweets, even though it might not be super safe to be out alone in the woods, it still feels better than being home all the time. He continues writing that he was walking in some woods that would be pretty if they didn't feel so creepy. Just when he was starting to feel at ease, he came across something strange in a clearing, but he only made it about 30 feet before he ran into something much creepier. He posts a picture of what he found. It appears to be an animal skull of some kind, mounted on a rock within a blackened triangle. Other smaller rocks are placed around the triangle, and on the skull in some sort of ritualistic looking design. Greg writes that he discovered something new in the wilderness every day, but he isn't nearer to comprehending what's going on. He said he felt dizzy as he headed away from the rock towards his home, but again he didn't make it far before he ran into yet another fright. A hooded woman dressed in black hovering at a distance on a hillside looking at nothing. Greg says she didn't see him as he hid behind a tree. Apparently he'd seen her before in these woods, but it had been weeks since his last sighting. After she left the hillside and drifted off into the forest, Greg darted home, fearing the whole while that she'd pop out and confront him. He asks the Twitter sphere if she's a witch. If not, what are these strange ritualistic displays? He also claims the video is proof that his imagination hadn't run wild. At this point, I just want answers, and I feel like I'm getting close to getting them, Greg writes. I'm just scared of what they might be. We're all pretty scared, Greg. We all are.